Okay, so why are people doing what they're doing? And really don't know your group, that the group of people you're talking about, except for I know radical Christians, and basically I know street picketers or street protest or whatever they're doing, and it's not they're doing it. They think they're doing it out of love, for one thing. I know they're seriously hating or spreading hate or whatever, but they definitely have a core base somewhere deep down inside where they think it's a loving thing that they're doing. They think that this is what God wants and this is what God is, and they believe solely in the scriptures and solely in the Bible, that they can't see outside of anything like that, anything outside of that. And so it seems like they're coming off very hateful, but if you read the Bible, and I'm sure you have, especially like um, I would say the Old Testament before, um, even Moses, doing anyways. Basically, there's a lot of hate in there. There's a lot of things that talk about hate, and like if like if your wife has adultery, you have the right to pretty much kill her. Or same thing with if your husband does, or and you have the you can and like they talk about sacrificing children because like I promised God I would, and blah, this and this, and there's a misconception here about God. I mean, God. Okay, you have to understand. You need to go in and look into what oneness is, because oneness is basically saying that everything in the world is connected, and these groups that are preaching the Bible and preaching this hate love type stuff towards people who are different, and that's um, anybody who does not stay with the norm, and they're preaching this stuff basically because they think that's what God wants. But we look at God as like a separate entity, a separate source. Whenever God is not separate, God is, I mean, the creator of the universe. So if you created a universe, how can not how can you not be involved in every single aspect of that universe? It's your creation. Like if you create a drawing or a piece of art, a painting, you're a part of every single aspect of that painting because you physically, or you made it whole. You made it one thing that became what it is. And so there's a whole misconception about God, about what it is. And so, I mean, he's not a puppet. I mean, he's not necessarily like a puppet. Like the earth changes that are going on right now are basically um, the earth is doing it because we have been ransacking it for thousands and thousands of years. We have been killing its trees, killing its natural resources, killing everything on it, and it has to balance. Everything has to come into balance at some point, and so the earth is just coming back into balance from the thousands of years that we've been on it, pretty much stomping all over it. So yes, it's gonna take life. It's gonna take all kinds of life to rebalance itself because we've been taking its life for so long. All right, I kind of got into love hate is just basically the opposite of polarity. I'm sure you know, just it's the same thing, but it's the opposite of each other. So it's, I mean, polarity is everything. There's two of everything in this universe, and so love and hate is pretty much the same thing. And so all these hate groups and all these things that You talk about, I mean, because I love unconditionally, but I also hate unconditionally. It's hard to explain it. It's hard to process in the mind how you can be in both places at one time. But to me, it's easy. I mean, it's simply that I love this world. I love the people on this world. I love the nature, the plants, the animals, the insects, and everything on it. But at the same time, that's just that moment that I'm loving it all. And then at another moment, I could be hating it all. Like I hate it. I hate whenever I see an insect in my room. But at the same time, a moment later, after I see it, then I'll love that insect and I'll get it outside. And other moments I'll keep on living in the hate moment and I'll kill it. So it's all about the one moment, and every second is a moment, and every next second is a different moment. And so these people might be going out protesting, doing what they're doing, and spreading this hate, but then they go home and they love unconditionally their family, and they're just in two different moments. And so basically, what's going on is that you have all these people like you rising in love, okay? But then to balance it all out, you have all these people rising in hate. And so that's what we're doing. We're just balancing out the equation of duality here. So people are going to believe whatever they want to believe. They're going to believe their own truth, and everybody has a different truth. And so that's basically why they are. Now, the confidence you speak of, I think that just comes from loving thyself. And they just love themselves, and so therefore they have the confidence that they do. And I'm not saying that any one of us that don't have that confidence doesn't love ourselves, but they just are more passionate about their love for themselves, and so that gives them more momentum to do what they think is right. And so I don't know if that helps, but I hope it does. Be peace, be love, be all that is.